Hey, what's up guys? King Draken here. In this video I'm just going to be doing a quick walkthrough of the Drekonians faction website. For those of you who do not know, it is drekonians.webs.com. You can also find links to it from my YouTube channel right here, Drekonians faction website, as well as from my blog right here, faction. Okay. There are also links from it elsewhere on the internet. You can Google it, Drekonians, with a D-R-E-K, not D-R-A-C, okay? That'll give you something totally different. But anyways, let's get focused. First and foremost, before you decide to join this faction, you need to understand the rules of the faction. And to read these, you need to go to the rules page here. You need to make sure that you fit all the criterias to join. First, you have to be able to defeat Overlord Drakon, which is me, or any other officers of the faction. Okay, so if you're trying to be recruited by an officer, you need to be able to defeat him in battle, and he'll then determine whether or not you're deserving of joining. You must be at level 33 or above. Even though level 35 is preferred, if the level cap is raised, then these information will be changed. So what you're seeing now may not be what it will be in the future. Okay. Next, you must be able to get at least 300 wins in a day. This is not 300 wins per day. This is 300 wins in a day. For example, when we're going to war, or when we're just going for 1v1 domination, then you're going to need to be able to get at least that many wins in a day. Or if you're able to get 45 wins per hour in 1 versus 1, then that you'll be eligible for that portion. Variant users are preferred but not required, and it's recommended that you get a build or use a build rather that can get fast wins and high percentages. But more importantly, you need to know that new members must get a minimum of 200 influence within 24 hours. This is to prevent the faction from falling victim to faction hoppers that simply come into the faction to cause all sorts of mischief and then leave, and report back to their leaders. Also, this is to root out anyone who joins and does not have the intention of becoming an active member of the faction. Maybe they just want to join to have the Drekonian name under their name, and this is a way to weed out those people and get serious members who want to be an active part in the faction. So 200 influence in 24 hours of joining. If you do not get that much, then I will likely remove you from the faction. 200 influence isn't that much anyway. What's it, 5 influence per win? So that's about 40 wins. So 40 wins in 24 hours, that's nothing really. But moving on. Okay, let's assume before I move on, if you cannot find an officer or me in EpicDuel or on Facebook at any given time, simply submit your application here. This will take you to the contact page. You fill out this form, I'll get an email, and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. And usually I'll check your character page with your EpicDuel name and see whether or not you're level 33, and whether or not you're a variant player, and try to determine how successful you could be based on the weapons you have in your inventory or whatever. And then I'll respond to you whether or not we should meet up somewhere. Moving on, let's just say you've become a member already and you want to be an officer. There are some criteria to become an officer. First, when the officer positions are not full, meaning that if there are less than 6 officers, the criteria to become an officer is to donate a minimum of 1,000 tokens to the flag, and contribute a minimum of 5,000 influence to the faction. Okay. If the officer positions are full, right, meaning that there are 6 total officers, you must get more influence than the lowest ranking officer, and you must also donate more tokens to the flag than the lowest ranking officer. So whoever is at the bottom of that officer list, you have to do better than him in order to become an officer. So you could say it's a dog eat dog world in the Drekonian faction. It's all about competition, and I want to keep it that way to keep everyone improving. You know, I don't want people thinking it's okay to just sit on their position just because they're an officer. They can just be inactive or get one win every day, and and that'll be fine. So you have to keep improving to keep your position in this faction. All right, so a couple rules that you need to know about this faction. The main thing for me is loyalty. So you need to be loyal. I don't like people who join the faction and don't want to stay or don't intend to stay. They simply join for whatever reason and then leave. I do keep a list of people who have left or people have kicked, and I'll show you guys that in a second. Depending on the reason of their leaving or being removed, they may or may not be able to join the faction again. Another thing that you need to do is be active. Activity is strictly monitored, and if you're inactive for a certain period of time, you will be removed from the faction. Another thing is to be respectful to other faction members and other players. This is something that I take very seriously because it affects the faction's reputation. If you're out there disrespecting everybody, then it's gonna reflect negatively on me and all the other faction members. Okay. Another thing is to be available. We're gonna need people available during the wars. We're gonna need people available when we're going for the flags, and you can also read the calendar to see when upcoming events are going to happen. Most of them right now are just there for when Omega is released. We're going to be more active during Omega, so members need to read those schedules and be available during those times. Another thing, be ruthless in battle. I don't want anyone leaving battles just to let another person win. Even if it's 2v2, I don't want you to leave just because another faction member is on the other team and you want a quick win. Go all out, and do your best. I don't want people running away. That just gives my faction a bad name. Okay. Also, you need to understand this. Let me try to minimize and scroll this. Probably edit this a little bit. The magic of editing. Anyway, you need to understand this portion, the faction member ranks and rewards. This is something that I create and monitor single-handedly. It's not a feature of EpicDuel, put it that way, but I do monitor this. First of all, if you have less than 1,000 influence, you're considered a D rank, okay? And you have absolutely no benefits whatsoever or privileges. All right. Once you've reached 1,000 influence, you're considered C rank, otherwise known as a beginner. C rank members have the privilege of an extended inactivity period, which is 7 days. If you're D rank, then I'll typically give you the regular 2 or 3 days inactivity, then you're removed. C ranks get 7 days. After 7 days, you'll be removed for whatever reason. When you reach 10,000 influence and donations, you're considered a B rank, and then your inactivity period is extended to 30 days. After 30 days, however, you'll be removed unless you give me notice that you have some sort of school exams or something, or some type of responsibilities that cannot be avoided, and then I'll reconsider. However, that's the rule for now. When you reach 20,000 influence and donations, you'll be considered an A rank, and the privilege of being an A rank is that you'll be famed daily. This is one thing I do every morning when I log into EpicDuel and stuff. I go ahead and fame all the A rank members. That'll be a good bonus for you if you're passionate about fames and stuff. So Once you've reached 50,000 influence and donations, then you're considered an S rank, and you'll be immune to removal from the faction unless you decide to quit EpicDuel. All right, or you're inactive for like half a year, then I'll just remove you, you know. But yeah, you'll be immune from removal, and that's to simply reward people who've been here for a very long time, because 50,000 influence is, 10,000 wins, and that just shows that you're real committed to the faction. And finally, the X rank. To reach that, you need to surpass the founder, which is me. You need to surpass me in both influence and donations. And then once you've completed that, then I will reward you with 10,000 Artix points with the gift certificate code from the Hero Mart website. Hero Mart is I guess you could say a shop for the Artix entertainment games, and you can purchase quite a few things, merchandises on there, including the gift certificate, which you can use those codes to redeem Artix points. That covers pretty much all the rules, and I'll head to the forum real quick to show you guys the faction list, and just to really show you that I do keep up with the members who come and go, and certain members are not allowed to join the faction ever again, and I'll show you in a second. Alrighty, so here is the list. The founder, which is me, link to my profile page. I have a list of all the officers and a list of all the current members. I do update this list. I'll try to update it more frequently, but here is a list of all the former members, and it's quite a long list, as you can see there. And members who leave with a notice, they are allowed to return. Members who have a question mark there, it simply means that I don't remember their reason for leaving, or whether or not I kicked them. I just don't remember, so I put a question mark there. So it's okay to recruit those members if they decide to join again. However, members who are kicked for being inactive are not allowed to join whatsoever, and members who leave without permission are not allowed to join. As you saw, they're left without permission, only wanted Varium, and asked officers for it. So this guy is never allowed to join the faction ever again, as well as other people who have similar notes beside their names. So yeah, that covers pretty much everything you need to know about the faction so far. If you're a member, you will need to click the calendar. Also, another thing, if you join the faction website, you will have the rank of a limited member. Only until you become an actual member of the faction will I change your status will I change your status to a member, as you can see here. Members and former members will still have the status as member. But yeah, that covers pretty much everything that you need to know about Drekonians, and if you guys decide to join, now you know what you're in for. I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section, or send me a message on Twitter or Facebook, or here on YouTube, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. With that said, this is King Drekon, signing out.